Hello, hello, it's Kim Corallo. Shut the front door too. We are a wreath door hanger vintage gift store. We're out of Lexington, Kentucky. We're going to show you a vintage haul today, actually just a portion of it. It's going to be a two-part, could have probably been a four-part, but some of this stuff will have already made it to its intended places before we can get another video done. Went to an outdoor market on Sunday, which is the reason why we did not upload a video on Sunday, and we tried on Monday and Tuesday, ran into a couple of mishaps. So today I'm gonna breeze. I'm gonna get through the stuff, show you the stuff. We normally like to share some ways of maybe how we would use this stuff in our own home. And yeah, I don't know, it's something with the storage of my phone. I have to figure it out. That kind of thing I know nothing about. So what I'm gonna have to do is figure that out, but I'm trying to kind of breeze through this. So today will be a little different. I won't be sharing a lot of that, but if you want to see some styled up video or photographs, come on over to Instagram and Facebook. You can screenshot this. Those are our places where every single week we do at least 2 to 3, sometimes more, but at least 2 to 3 photographs of side table displays of how we would actually use these items in our own home. So let's go ahead and get started, because I have a strong feeling that it's just going to happen again and it's going to cut me off. It's a storage issue. I don't know. You can probably tell that I'm aggravated, and I'm sorry, but it has been 3 days now of trying to figure out how to get a video done. So I picked up this. At the outdoor market. It's a julep cup. I thought, oh, I've never seen a brass one before, and it is brass, but it has, I guess it always has been brass, but it did have a silver plate at one time. So this guy's been well loved, and I love it. So I thought it was interesting. I did know that silver plate, the base of silver plate, is usually copper or brass. Sometimes other metals, but I'd never seen a piece where the entire silver plate had been worn off. An Italian leather wrapped bottle, because I dig them, and you guys too. I've only ever found a couple. They go really, really quickly because they're not easy to find. This one does have a few discrepancies. The condition on the back here, and there's a little place on the front. They usually always have something. I just call it perfectly imperfect, and it doesn't bother me at all. I picked up salt and pepper shaker. I don't always pick salt and pepper shakers up. I see them all the time, and most of the time I like them. I know there are collectors out there, but I have had similar salt and pepper shakers at least twice, maybe 3, but they were strawberries. And so I'd never seen the grapes made just like this, but the ones I had before were strawberries. I don't know if the grapes are as desirable, but I thought they were cute nonetheless. I'll take that green bow off, and I think yeah, I think there's somebody out there that would love them too. I found, I think, what I would call a paperweight. This is an oyster shell, or a clam, I guess, shell. Oyster, because oysters make pearls. Oyster shell with a pearl in there, encased in acrylic. And it's so cute. Anything little, mini, I'm sort of drawn to it. I'm also drawn to anything brass, pretty much. This bell was no exception. I love the eagle. You know, bells are having a moment right now, and I can see why. And I'm kind of glad, because I've always thought bells make that good, perfect little, when you need something a little extra in your side table display or vignette, and oftentimes a bell fits that because they're visually interesting and pretty, and they also have small enough. That's what I'm trying to say. They're also usually small enough. Stained glass, not going to leave it if it's in, and I apologize, nothing's been cleaned up yet. I apologize for the smears, but this will look really beautiful once I get that glass cleaned up. I've never seen a stained glass mirror quite like this, meaning small like this. This would fit on an easel. It doesn't have a hanger on the back, but I really liked it. I loved the colorway, and I'm drawn to things with flowers. I love flowers and jewelry, anything. So I've always been drawn to them. I don't think this little globe is that old. I haven't looked, you know, a way you can tell that, and one of my reselling friends told me this, is, you know, some of the countries, the names are different now. So that's how you can tell ages oftentimes if it doesn't have the age on the actual globe. This one tells me it's not that old because I think this metal piece would be heavier if it were older. And I also think this metal piece would have some scuffs. This looks like I just picked it up out of a department store. So, but the size of it was great. I liked everything about the colorway. I liked everything else about it. So the age not being older, it doesn't really bother me as much. I just can't put that on Etsy if it's not actual vintage. I ran across quite a few horse bits, and living in the horse capital of the world, equestrian decor is popular. I mean, honestly, I think it's popular across the board. I think with that Ralph Lauren aesthetic, it's just something that kind of booms. Something like this would look really good, and this will be something I will style up on a side table to give you a better visual, but something like this I think would look good to break up a gallery wall. I also think it would look good on a stack of books and give some real visual interest and be a little different, you know, like I would almost think that unless you're friends, or even if your friends are horse people, they may not be decorating the inside of their home with a horse bit. But guys, I like to be as different as I can be. I like kind of odd things. So if you like those kinds of things too, then, you know, I'll try to find a way. I'll try to find a way to use it. And you can even say, hey, I've got this and I don't know how to use it in my own home. And I'll brainstorm with my sister and we'll try to find a way, that you would like to use it in your own home. Just ask in the comments. Found a genie jar. Not often that you find these. These are mid-century modern. This one is completely intact. It's just a little dirty, needs a bath, but you hardly ever find them with the stoppers. In the whole time I have been thrifting, I've only ever found one. I have found stoppers and I have found bottles, but intact. This is only the second one I've ever found. And so that does tell you that they are a little rare. But having said that, these are also pretty rare. Bobby Pottery is no longer being produced, and collectors out there love it. It was a company out of Lexington, not out of Lexington, but out of Kentucky. And these little owls are just pretty sought after. I think there are actually people who don't collect any Bobby, they only collect the owls. And this company made other animals, really large animal figures, and they're not easy to find. But in all my years of thrifting, I found two, and then until last week I found three at one time, and then this one this week. So guys, when I say it's not always easy to find, I promise I'm not making that up. It's just that I kind of got lucky some way, somehow. Found a little basket purse that I think, you know, if you're going on vacation at the beach and you're going to dinner, this would just set you off, you know, as really standing out with that cute little basket purse. However, you know, I think you could just, you don't have to be on vacation, but you know, with the strap, the short strap like that, I certainly think, you know, it would be a special kind of occasion. But while you're at home, you can use it on your shelf as a decorative piece. I like the colorway. I like that you could use this as a vignette to build something on. So, you know, lots of ways you could use that basket. Probably will also show you how to use this in a vignette over on Instagram and Facebook. I love this guy. He's navy. He's probably looking on camera like he's black. He's got the tans and creams with some lighter color blues. I have found two of these. I sold them both on Etsy. I'm not sure where any of this stuff is going. All of the spots need stuff, and I am obviously running behind since I had some video mishaps, and so I haven't, you know, processed anything yet, but nonetheless, this guy, he's a little different than the ones I had before. The ones I had before were flat on the top and they were a plant stand. This one is a planter. He's open at the top and I can visualize the plant in there. It's not very deep. This top part, it doesn't go all the way down through the elephant body, but I can just visualize the plant and then have it streaming over, so much so that I just love it. I think, gosh, maybe I want to keep that. I do plan on keeping a couple of things, and I do that sometimes. I don't keep, I don't pick up things I don't like. Sometimes I keep them. And when I do that, that means I get rid of something else, and that's how I do it. So oftentimes I keep it for a while, and then I find something else that I want in place of that, and I move things along. So even if I say I'm going to keep it, it may show up in a video at a later date, and then I'll tell you, hey, I'm getting rid of this out of my own home. Toolboxes are something that I don't find often. Vintage antique toolboxes. Don't know if this one's antique. It's definitely vintage. But I love the uniqueness of decorating with them. I've only found two in the past, and this is the third one. And I found two, I guess they're called like they're the taller ones, like that file cabinet kind, but not the file cabinets where they have drawers. It's made out of metal, and anyway, that's not what this is, but I have found a couple of those. This drew me in because I think it is also perfectly imperfect. It has all the right patina, and that yummy color green is something that I think is neutral. And if you like that aesthetic that we talked about earlier, that more well, I'm just going to say that more Ralph Lauren, because I think that's universal. People can picture that. Then that would fit right in. So would something like this awesome basket. I picked up two awesome baskets. The other one is so big I can't even show it, but I love them both so much. The handle on this one is what did me, and what is that in there? Oh, I don't even know. It looks like a receipt. But I mean, just perfect for, you know, a basket to put your blanket in beside your chair or your fireplace. I probably would leave it empty. I just think the basket is so interesting that it doesn't even need anything else. But I think a plant, a fern, so many wonderful ways you could use it. Shells are having a moment right now, and I like shells too. I've just never decorated with them in my own home. I've always sort of felt like, you know, they had that more coastal flair. But I love that, you know, because it's what I say I do. I love that people say, I don't care. I like them. I don't care if I don't live at the beach. I'm going to use them. So I thought that was pretty awesome. These are framed. They're professionally framed. The gold frame is in really good condition. And I love how they did the mat out front, made it look more like a shadow box instead of to the back. I thought that was cool. Now, you guys are probably not gonna be shocked, because if you like vintage and antiques, you know ducks are also having a moment. This is a duck decoy. It's real. It's a real duck decoy. I've not cleaned him up. He needs to be cleaned up. He has the most beautiful colors, and I couldn't get past it. He has an actual weight still. And my intent was to just cut that off, because, you know, I would think the person that's going to get this is going to use this for decorative purposes. But my husband said, you know, I think the weight is kind of cool. I think it kind of adds to it, because he and I both said we've never seen one that had the actual weight still attached. So what we'll do is let that end buyer decide if they want to take it off, and if not, maybe they do also think it would add, you know, visual interest. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to let them decide and move right along. I found several spools. I like to decorate with these. I think they add interest. You can use them in a lot of ways, even sometimes as candle holders. I found 2 of the small ones like this, and then a couple of larger size ones as well. Not my favorite piece, but probably my favorite brass piece. My favorite piece I'm not even showing because it's a green basket that's too big, but it's too big to show in camera. I mean, I couldn't even probably get far enough back. So I'll get a photograph of that and get it listed up to Instagram. But this pedestal bowl, anything on a pedestal already has great interest. I love the shape, the scallop, the handles, just really sweet, really cute. Happy to find that. Brass is harder and harder to find as well, and especially unique pieces. I find some of the more common pieces, and I usually get them if I can, but they're harder and harder to find. This is an ashtray, but I saw past that. Well, you could still use it as an ashtray if you smoke, but I see it as a piece of art, and I see it as a piece of art because of that beautiful horse head figure inside there, and everything about it to me is just awesome. This will be styled up on a side table, so we'll show you how to use that as well. Sorry again, guys, if I feel like I'm moving quickly. I just really want to post this video. Love a good Sawyer. Paul Sawyer is, I think, a Kentucky artist, but also maybe lived in California. I'd have to research that a little bit more. This is a print. I liked it because of the colorway, the size, the gold frame, and of course the sheep had me at hello. Happy to find that. Found one other piece of Sawyer, and they were or a piece of art, and they were actually at 2 different locations. One was at the estate sale I went to, and one was at the market. This one, I liked it. I liked the real chunky frame. I liked this is probably looking a little black, or at least on my end. It's actually navy, and I thought the matte color was perfect for this actual print. And this one is called the Lindsay House. So they all, I guess, have names. I'm still learning every day, and Paul Sawyer is something that, you know, I'm kind of drawn to, but I kind of like the smaller art better than the larger art. Just a preference, but I've seen a couple of larger pieces. Actually picked up a larger piece last week, so I'm kind of, you know, just because sometimes I'm drawn to certain things doesn't mean that my tastes change, because they do, and I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Another ashtray, this one is Italian marble, and anything marble I pick up, I will use this also as a side table display to show you how you could use this as a base. Of course, you can use it for its intended purpose. Italian art, Italian Florentine, Italian pottery. If you've followed or watched any videos, you've heard me say it's just my all-time favorite. And I'm drawn to it. I love it in my own home. I love to style up little side vignettes and tables and shelving units in my booth spaces. And Italian trays are something I never leave behind unless the condition is too far gone. They will always have condition issues. I passed up one last week, and it was something that sort of haunted me because I had to think about it. And I think the reason why, you know, I always have a reason and a purpose for everything. I think the reason why I passed it up is because this one was waiting for me. The other one was a tiny bit smaller. It had, it was green, but it was sort of this mint green, but it almost looked artificial, like it wasn't original. I don't know, there was something about it. I couldn't get past, I just couldn't get past some of the wear and tear, and it wasn't, I don't know. I don't know, enough about that because I didn't pick it up. And I did go back because I thought maybe I'm just being too hard, but it was gone. And so, you know, someone else loved it and that is great. But this one I knew not to pass up. It only has a few condition issues. This one's has the handles, which I love, and the colorway on it is great. The gold gilt, all beautiful, still intact. Really happy to have found that. That is one of those items that, you know, I tend to want to say that I am going to hold on to, but I'm not sure. I haven't completely made up my mind. A couple of cute little metal, I don't think they're brass, I'll test them, but I think they're metal swan wall plaques with the cattails just because they're cute, and never ever seen those at all. Definitely want to show you this oil. Look at that moody, beautiful oil painting. Guys, this is so old. I don't know how old, but I can date it as being older because of the nails instead of the staples. And then just, I think also you can just look at it and tell. But I love the colorway on this. I've not decided yet. Things like this do really well in all of my spaces. So it's just almost, the reason why I'm even telling you that is because it's almost just a tad too big to ship. After a certain size, the shipping goes way up. And Etsy likes for you to offer free shipping. They boost your page more when you do that. So of course I try to build in a little bit to cover costs, but you can never, you don't know who's going to buy it. So you can never really do that completely. So I don't know. It just might be too big to ship. But if you really want more information, just put it in the comments and I'll get that to you. Look at this guy. This is a hand-painted dog, and some kind of a wood plaque type of thing. Again, I think it's perfectly imperfect. He doesn't have a hanging mechanism, so he'd look great on an easel. Love that so much. Actually, you know, I think I did tell you earlier, I don't pick up things I don't like, but some things just make my heart race. I like it so much. And I don't know, I said that out loud and I think, gosh, is that weird? You know, I don't know. Cute little side pillow made out of a crazy quilt. I like the colorway on it. I just thought the colors were really fun, and I could see this being used just on a side chair. You know how a lot of people have those side chairs in their dining room or side chairs in a bedroom to, you know, just catch things. I could see this, you know, on a side table or a side chair. Just a little marble Lazy Susan, because they, you know, they're great and they would make a great little vignette. Guys, I don't want to black cat myself, but I think I might get through it. I haven't researched these. I don't know what company makes these, but sometimes they're Italian as well, but these are not. These are made in China, so they may be a little newer, but with them being equestrian, they're melamine plates, but I doubt they were probably ever intended for food use. Maybe. It doesn't say, but I just think they're a good decorated. They look like they're different sizes, but they're the same size. I think they would look great on a plate wall. I also think they would look great on an easel. So I picked those up. Got a lot of, I feel like a lot of equestrian-ish type of things. Picked up this little lantern because it's so sweet and it's so cute. Has the perfectly imperfect patina. Don't think it's super duper old, but it's okay because it fits right in the vibe that I have going here. So was happy to find it. Shaker boxes are made here in Kentucky, and these are authentic. There are reproductions out there. These are authentic shaker boxes, and I don't know if they're still making shaker boxes or not, but I do know that they are They are collectible, sought after, and they fit into that primitive kind of style, farmhouse kind of style that a lot of people say is going out. But they also fit in with that moody equestrian Ralph Lauren style. So, you know, when styles come and go, I think that style, that Joanna Gaines style of farmhouse, is on its way out because everything was so white and people are wanting color again. So, you know, when I use the term farmhouse, I wouldn't want someone to think, oh, well, farmhouse is going out. Obviously, with the colors of these boxes, they would fit right in with, you know, the styles of farmhouse, like modern farmhouse maybe is what you would call it. But nonetheless, I love them and I was happy to get them, especially since they were authentic, and you can tell that because they're stamped. A little birdhouse moment because, again, what's not to love? You could actually build a little vignette on the inside of this, and this would make a super cute side table display. Also would look good on just a stack of books. So I told you some things that I might keep. I found 2 of these brass easels, and I've had them before. People love them. I love them too. And I ended up getting rid, because people would ask me for them, I ended up getting rid of the ones that I had for myself. So I might hold on to both of these. The verdict is still out on that. That doesn't mean you won't see me later on say, hey, I found something else, and I'm willing to let those go. Carpet bag, just because I really like the colorway on it. And it is, you know, the strap was long enough to make it a, you know, you could, a good fit, a good shoulder fit. Guys, I think we're going to get through it. The very last thing, and I didn't hesitate because I've actually had one before. The one I had before was sort of a hunter green, and it didn't have, I think it did have some advertisement on it, but it was mostly worn off and you couldn't read it. But they're ammo boxes. This one is legit army green with all of this advertisement, just absolutely wonderful, and I was so happy to find it. Guys, that's it for this video. There is more of this awesome epic haul. Like I said, if you want to see how some of this is styled up, follow us over on Instagram and Facebook, and you guys have the very best day, and we will talk to you really, really soon.